Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, let's take a look into the Vlan configuration. In the previous video, we have seen what a Vlan is, different types of Vlan, and I have taken you through the .1q encapsulation header format. So now let's take a look into different types of ports available, which is access port and trunk port, and when to use an access port and when to use a trunk port. An access port carries a traffic of single VLAN, whereas a trunk port can carry multiple VLAN traffic, and the trunk port is actually used when you connect a switch to a router or when you connect a switch to another switch. Now let's go ahead and see how we can configure a VLAN to a switch. So let's see how we can create an associative VLAN to a switch. So first, go to the terminal of your switch and then type in enable and then type in configuration T, which will get into the config mode, where the syntax is VLAN space the VLAN ID. The ID can range from 1 to 4095. That's 2 power 12. So type in the number that you want to give to the that you want to create. So I have just given VLAN 10, and then in the next line you can give a name for your VLAN. Name space name for your VLAN. So once you create this, a VLAN is created. It is just like an object, but that needs to be associated to your interface. So for that to happen, again, go to the interface to which you wanted to associate your VLAN. And once you are into that interface, you can just type in switch port and mode access. Since it's a single VLAN that you are trying to associate, you need to enter into access mode. And once you enter the switch port mode access, then the command to associate a VLAN to a switch port is switch port space access space VLAN space the VLAN ID that you have created. Once you enter this port, this interface FA01 will be associated with this VLAN 10 traffic. So let's go ahead and see how we can do this in a packet tracer so that we can understand it even better. Alright, I have opened my Cisco packet tracer. So let me just place a Cisco switch here and then click on end device and connect two PCs to the switch, and let's connect those two. Okay, so now if you just hover over the dot, you can see which interface this PC4 is connected to and to which interface the PC5 is connected to. So let's say I wanted to associate VLAN 10 to this FA01 and VLAN 20 to FA02. So let's see how we can do that. Since I'm associating only one VLAN per port, it's gonna be an access port, right? So let's go into the switch CLI and see how we can configure this. So I'm inside the terminal, so I'm just gonna do one enable and then config T. So let's go ahead and create a VLAN 10 and I'm gonna name it as red, and then I'm gonna do an exit and let's create VLAN 20 and I'm gonna name it as green. So I have created two VLANs, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So let's do a show run config. So if I just keep on scrolling, you can see so let's do a show run and then include VLAN. Or let's do a show VLAN. Alright, so when I enter this command show VLAN, you can see I have created a VLAN called red with 10 and VLAN called green with number 20. So now let's go ahead and associate this with FA01 and FA02. So in order to do that, I just need to type interface FA0-1. So I'm into the okay, so I need to go into config mode, config day. I'm into the configuration mode. Now let's type an interface FA0-1. So I'm into that interface. So I'm just going to type in switch mode access. Sorry, it's going to be switch port mode access. So now I'm just going to type in switch port access VLAN 10. So I have associated VLAN 10 to the switch port of the interface FA01. So I'm just going to type in exit. So let's type in interface FA02. So in this interface, switch port mode access. Now I'm just going to type switch port access VLAN 20. So let's do an end and do a show VLAN again. So now you can see I have one VLAN 1, which is a default one, which has all the interfaces associated to it. And then you can see a VLAN called red with 10 and VLAN called green with number 20, which is active. And you can see the port FA01 is associated to it and FA02 is associated with green. So this is how you create a VLAN and associate a VLAN